Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be making a pair of sliding string bikini bottoms, which are called the Sonny bottoms on my website. The main things you're going to need for this tutorial are swimwear fabric, elastic, and a loop turner. You're also going to need access to a regular sewing machine and additionally a serger if available, but it's definitely not required. For a list of materials and where I buy my fabric, see the description, where I'll link some blog posts with both my favorite tools and places where I buy my swimwear fabric, including this lovely butterfly fabric I'm using in this tutorial. This pattern is the Sonny bottoms, so that's going to be linked in the description as well. What's pictured here, it's not exactly what the final product ended up being like. I made some adjustments after working with a couple testers. So yeah, it's new and improved, but it looks similar to this. So the first step is you're going to take your pattern piece and you're going to cut one in each fabric. So you're going to have a total of 2 pieces cut. Usually I separate the back and the front, but for this tutorial, it's all one big piece. Which in effect makes things a little bit easier since you don't have to sew those 2 pieces together. Now put these pieces aside and cut your straps. I recommend making your straps somewhere around 35 to 45 inches each, depending on how long you want them. And the pattern that is linked in the description has a recommended strap length chart for every size, so check that out if you do have the pattern. If you don't, then I'd say like between 35 and 45 is a good measure. And again, we're cutting 2 straps. Next, we're going to match right sides together with your pieces and pin all around. Pinning will prevent the fabric from sliding, which is very possible with this design. For whatever reason, this one is super slidey and I couldn't do it without pins when usually I never use pins. And you're also going to fold your straps right side together and sew. Hey guys, so like I said in the narration, I did end up changing the pattern a little bit and I realized that I changed it quite a bit. So I did want to clarify just what the changes are and how you'll be approaching that. So this is like one of the edges, and so as you can see I have this little corner thing, and the reason I did this is so that when you tuck in the raw edges later in this tutorial, that they'll tuck in without making some sort of like weird shaped square thing. So that's why it is this way, but it might be difficult to sew this area, so I'm just gonna quickly demonstrate how I'm gonna do it. Okay, so I have my pattern here. And I'm just going to cut out an extra small. So I'm going to leave 1/4 inch allowance, 1/4 inch allowance. And since this is a little tight, I am going to go in here with my scissors. So that's what one corner should look like. I'm gonna quickly do it with the other. So by switching to scissors, it just makes it a little easier to get more precise. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And like the rest of your piece will be right there. So to make this easier to do this corner, I'm gonna be using a sewing machine, but you'll get this top edge with your serger like regular, and you'll serge the bottom, you know, the leg holes with the serger like you would normally. And then as you get closer to this corner, just stop anytime you feel comfortable. And then we'll go ahead and get this part. So the way I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna set to a zigzag stitch, which I'm already on right now. And I'm gonna get the very corner here. And once we get to that corner, which you see it's only like maybe a ½ inch, I'm gonna, with the needle in, lift the plate up and simply just turn it and then continue down here. So that way, it secures that edge, but you don't have to worry about cutting your corner. After you've done this, if you'd like, and I would highly recommend this, go back and attach elastic not only onto the straps, but as well as onto the leg holes of the bottom. And whenever I put on elastic, I just sew right on top of where I just sewed, and I lengthen the stitch length. Now that you've attached elastic, flip your bottoms to the right side, and using your loop turner, flip your straps. Now we're going to take the open corners of your bottoms and fold them slightly in so that the raw edges are tucked. We'll be creating our strap channel through here. Once you've folded the edges, pin them down so they stay in place. We're also going to pin down along the top edge of what will be the front and the back. Now, when you go to flip it, you will just poke it right in, and it gives you a flat edge. And now moving to our regular sewing machine, I'm going to use a straight stitch and sew in a channel that is just about anywhere between 1/3 of an inch to 1/2 an inch from the top edge. And so you'll repeat this for what's going to be the front and what's going to be the back. And the final step is going to be threading your strap through with your loop turner and slide the bottoms along that string to get that scrunchy fit. So once you've done that, here is the final product. These bottoms are incredibly easy, and I'm actually surprised with how much I like them. At first I thought they looked kind of like a loincloth or like a diaper, but I think they turned out okay. So yeah, if you're a beginner, these would be a really good bottom to start out with, so I hope you give it a shot. Thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you next week with a bandeau pattern and tutorial.